Welcome back to the Get Off My Lawn podcast. With me, as always, is the star of our show again, Little S. Unless you count all these messages we got as you being the big star now.
We seem to be up to a couple of pages of responses after every we first got an email or two or a text or two. Now we're getting 2 pages full. So I guess that's good.
This is the Get Off My Lawn podcast, episode 16. We are on the Views from the Balcony radio. We are on SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, iHeart. Just before we start, the views expressed on the Get Off My Lawn podcast in no way represent the views and opinions of VFTB Radio or their affiliates. Just wanted to, get that out there ahead of time because, again, 2 pages.
Well, maybe they're all positive. Okay, maybe not.
Before we get into that, what do you got going on in life?
Too hot to golf.
Well, it's definitely too hot to golf. I did golf the other day, Tuesday, and it's roasting by the time noon rolls around. So probably down to once a week during this period of time, which lets me watch more TV, which makes me angrier. So I think that whole Plattner baloney up in Maine, he should have to run. I mean, what kind of bullshit they got over there? Every time they go ahead, the people elect somebody, and then they do a poll, oh, he's going to lose, so we take him out and replace him with our own guy. And on Wednesday, I wanted to go off about this, but everybody's heard it already, the same deal. The Democrats haven't had a real election since like 2000. And they lost by a hanging chad. And then, 2008 came along, the media and everybody got together and they presented this clean-cut black guy and half black. He had one white parent that you don't hear about. And, they made him president. And then 16 rolls around, Bernie's kicking Hillary's ass. They rig it so Hillary can win. 2020, Bernie's kicking Joe Biden's ass. Clyburn, that total scumbag we have here in South Carolina, made a deal and Biden beat, Bernie again. 2024, what happened there. They knew they weren't going to win with him. So nobody's really elected a Democrat in a long time. They've all been appointed. At least with the Republicans, when Trump came out, there were 17 of the top Republicans in the country to battle it out. And nobody had favor. Nobody was pushed by the media because they hated all Republicans. So he actually kicked all their ass and went through the gauntlet. And that's what's the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. The Democrats are appointed. Will you do everything we say? Okay, we'll let you run. And we let guys fight it out and hear their own ideas, and then we elect them, and then they can survive in office. And these scumbags can't, get past. And it's their own media that did it, too. They knew all this shit. I refer you back to about a month ago when Trump was asked about Plattner, and Trump said he's a pig. This is before a lot of this stuff came out. But Trump knew. They all knew about this rape stuff. And they just let it slide until, he's not going to win, so we got to get rid of him. It's just wrong. You should be stuck with running with this guy. All this bullshit, you go through all these primaries, spend all this money, you elect somebody, and then you decide, he's not going to win, we got to do something. It's just more corruption. Democrats are evil, and they suck. But other than that, everything's going great.
Yeah, basically the same as always.
Yeah, it's just that watching their corruption in real time and watching people not understand what's happening is just amazing. The amount of stupid people we have.
Well, the propaganda machine for the left is just out of control. All week I've been hearing about how New York is safer than ever. The crime is down across the board. And then on the way here, I heard the exact opposite.
New York. I lived in New York for 47 years. Let me tell you what New York does. They put a trooper underneath every tree and bridge, abatement, or whatever you call it. And they just harass their citizens for tickets. They've been doing it for 30, 40 years. I go to other states, go to other places. Your car's got to be on fire to get pulled over. Not in New York. They just pull you over, pull you over, pull you over. So now they've decided, let's do cameras. Now we don't even need these cops to do this. We'll just do it with the cameras. And so now they're banging everybody. $100 bill, you're 5 miles over the speed limit, just banging everybody. And then if you get too many tickets, they want to put a device in your car which controls the speed of your vehicle. They just did a whole article on that, and it's something that Hochul's pushing. So they're just so stupid up there. They're about to be told how warm they have to be in the summer, how warm they get to be in the winter, and how fast they can drive, when they can drive. It's just I can never understood people wanting to be told what to do. It's even when you have a kid and he's still hanging around, and you're like, why don't you want to break free and just do your own thing and make your own, world happen? Why is it still so? It's the same deal.
You'd die without me.
Huh?
All right. Well,
it's not a matter of that. It's just that, I don't understand people that vote to be coddled, that vote to be taken care of, and they think they're being taken care of when all they're doing, they're not going after billionaires. They all left. They're living in Florida, living large. They're not going after the rich. They're not. They get driven. They're going after you, and you keep letting them.
The people that scream "No kings, no kings" crave subjugation. They want to be ruled. They want to be told this is how we're all going to think together. That's their version of a utopia, is everybody thinking the exact same thing.
If these people were in charge in 1850 when the railroad came, they would have said, no, we're going to do a study for a couple of years. You guys go around Pennsylvania, go around there. We're going to do a study on that black shit coming out of the roof of the locomotive. That's how stupid they are. Like they're not going to allow data centers there. Great, we'll take them. What else did they give up? Oh, fracking. They gave up fracking. Yeah. Pennsylvania getting rich, paying all sorts of employees, and they don't have gas like you guys. But New York, they're so dumb. They are so dumb, and because your great grandfather was in a union, you'd think you should need to be Democrat. You're just stupid. But other than that, I don't really have much to say.
Well, that's perfect, because the people had a lot to say. And again, before we jump into these fan mail notes here, the views expressed on the Get Off My Lawn podcast in no way represent the views and opinions of the VFTV radio or their affiliates. You can find,
they're all mine.
You can find the views from the Balcony Radio on SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, iHeart, and...
Oh, wait. Did you print out that thing I told you?
No, I didn't print out that thing you told me, because I remember most of it, and we can go ahead and talk about that towards the end. But
now some guy threatened me. Said he was Antifa. Said his father was Antifa. He lives in Vegas. Yeah, online.
Wow.
Yeah, I said to him, Antifa is the fucking brave bunch of guys you picked. PETA's got more balls than they do.
Yeah.
I said, I'm in South Carolina. Come find me. I'm easy to find.
And you're the guy that was telling me that I'm not supposed to agitate.
But you have a life ahead of you. I'm 61. I go down as a hero no matter what.
Ready? All right. Well, we are going to jump into the fan mail. The fan mail that is one day going to be sponsored by a nice right-wing company. Can't wait for that. Speaking of right-wing companies, BarnDoor Innovations, you can find us on YouTube. Pop said Get Off My Lawn on TikTok, Get Off My Lawn on Facebook, as well as the Get Off My Lawn podcast on Spotify. First one up, Alan from Ashtabula, Ohio.
Ashtabula.
Yeah, that one.
Ashtabula?
Yeah, I can tell somebody here is from Ohio. After the past episode, I'm certain that the podcast or the main company will be in trouble.
The owner's sitting 4 feet away. I just gave him a check. He's pretty good. I think we're cool.
Unfortunately, my views are with you too.
Yes. I didn't end up on a right-wing station for nothing, But I do think, why can't the dying AM stations take your content and put it on their AM stations?
Because of what you say.
So you bleep out that version.
Everything would be bleeped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that
I
whole.
was gonna say, go get us some AM stations to put all this stuff on.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to work like that. Again, that's when we would get in trouble. We don't get in trouble now because we own our company. He owns his company. And I do believe that people are a little bit too worried about this facet of life where you can't just say what you think and you feel because you're so worried about the ramifications of your own feelings and your own thoughts. I think that's insane. But Alan, we're not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not, Alan. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always owned my own business. I haven't worked for people in years. So I really don't care what other people think. I don't have to worry about getting fired. I don't have to worry about people coming after me. I'm in South Carolina. You're probably going to run into more people than me. So have a nice day.
Speaking of having a nice day, Tom from Lexington. Why does every appliance need Wi-Fi now? My toaster does not need to know my location. It just needs to make toast. Completely agree.
I so agree. I go to my brother's house a few weeks ago down in Tampa, and he's got a newfangled refrigerator with the whole front of it as a screen, and he's got the news running on it. And, he can do pictures of family and this and that, but he watches an 85-inch screen. Then he's got his tablet in front of it where he watches something else. And if he turns his shoulder and looks in the kitchen, he can see the news on the TV. It's a little wacky, but he's my brother. I love him. But yeah, I agree. Everything is too Wi-Fi. I've been turning my phone off lately and just leaving it in the room and go back a couple hours later.
With 100 texts.
No, actually, now that I haven't been running the company in a while.
No one cares about you.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I used to have 35, 40 hair on fire phone calls per day. And you'd feel accomplished at the end of the day, like you solved all these problems. Now the only one who calls me is TJ, and then I kind of go, what's he want?
I need to start coming up with more problems, apparently. So that sounds good. I want to make you feel complete as a human being and as a father, so I'm going to come up with more shit for you.
You forgot your aunt's birthday today. Okay?
No, I texted her.
I can't die peacefully.
Texted her.
Yeah, because I told you. Without me being alive, none of the other family's going to hear from you. They'd be like, that TJ is an asshole. I didn't hear from him for my birthday.
That's not
And then you got
true.
no help, no nothing. You better not forget
like
Joel's birthday. He's the only one you're going to know.
I feel like they hear from me the perfect amount, and I hear from them the perfect amount. All right, we're moving on.
And Karen listens to this,
I appreciate you, Aunt Karen, more than anybody
Happy
in the
birthday,
world.
sis.
All right, thank you, Tom from Lexington. Next up is Dave from Arlington. I feel like Dave's lying up front, but here, I'm a conservative. I vote conservative, and I believe in limited government, secure borders, and common sense. But Tom is starting to sound like he thinks anyone 1 inch to his left is a communist. At some point, being conservative doesn't mean yelling louder than everyone else. It means persuading people, and Tom is running people off.
Well, I appreciate the comment, but it is called Get Off My Lawn. It's not like kumbaya, come here and let's hug it out. I'm mostly trying all week to think of ways to be a bigger asshole than I was the week before. So, I get what you're saying, but as far as the theme of everything and, the views I have are real. They are my views, but I don't really get the opportunity to just sit and talk about the positives because I'm here to talk about the negatives. But,
and what do they, on the left, what do they consider somebody who isn't as far left as them? Pretty much a lot worse than a communist.
It's become a binary choice now. You're either for America or you're for the enemy. It's not like, they're a little bit liberal, so I'll vote for them, because they will vote straight up communist.
Yep.
It's proven they don't even have 4 or 5 that'll break away from them and say, that's such crazy. We're going over here on our own little island. So I hear what you're saying, but frankly, they don't have anyone with the courage. Cinema and Manchin are gone. They don't have anyone with the courage to stand up and do what's right. So you can't even be a little liberal right now. You got to go.
Yeah, groupthink has completely taken over their side.
Fetterman's great. I thought he was an eggplant 2 years ago.
Too.
But now, if a liberal goes and has a stroke and comes back normal, we'll take him.
All right. Thank you, Dave from Arlington. Next up is Amanda from Greenville. Get off my lawn version of conservatism is simple. If you disagree with him, you're a socialist. If you question him, you're a rhino. If you ask for details, you're part of the deep state. I'm exhausted just listening to him.
What was her name?
Amanda from Greenville.
Oh, I always liked that name. Oh, well, Amanda, I don't know what to tell you. You know, you got to put your kind, girly side down. We're actually at war with these people. They've been at war with us for a decade or two. Okay. They have been firing us. If you donated to keep regular marriage 10 years ago, they fired you from your job. They hunt you down. They dox you. All the murdering is coming from the liberal side of things. I don't see any conservatives going crazy and killing people. Like, you know, even the teenagers. I'm a little upset with the white teenagers. Where are you guys? Why aren't you representing?
No,
and
stop.
taking down a mall or
The
something?
white teenagers are representing heavy on all of
No,
the
every
social
time
medias.
I see the news, it is a pack of 200 or more of the other kind. And
the news is deliberately designed to upset you as a
well, it doesn't
old
upset
white
me.
man.
I don't care when they
Clearly
freak out.
it's bothering
I'm
you.
just bothering
again,
me. Where's our white guys?
The young white guys are here in droves. They just aren't going to where the news is shooting because the news doesn't care about young white guys. But they're out there and they're vocal, and we're not going to upset
like every
them
week
because they are the only people listening in that demographic.
It seems like every week there's a teenage takeover, and I keep looking for where's the white guys?
Why would conservative white people going to
they don't
take
have to
over
be conservative? Why can't you just be white and an asshole too?
They're wearing masks and they call
them
themselves Antifa.
I don't see them every. No, those are pussies. Those guys.
They are. Those are the white guys.
These are real guys fighting. I mean, those chicks beating a cop in Charleston. You know, they had more balls than any Antifa guy.
I agree.
But it's absolutely insane.
But again, we're thankful for your message, Amanda in Greenville. He disagrees with most people, so just don't worry about that. Next up is going to be Jacob from Georgetown, South Carolina.
Right down the road.
Tom needs to get off my podcast, all caps, and take his political flamethrower with him. I'm conservative, but I don't need every conversation to become a Civil War reenactment with better Wi-Fi. Sometimes I just want lower taxes, safer streets, and a candidate who doesn't sound like he's yelling from the back of a pickup truck.
I wish you could have that, but you can't. You can't. You can't have a little bit liberal because there's no such thing. Until you get some liberals that are going to go and stand up and be leaders, you're always going to be voting for a communist, even if they're just a little bit liberal, because they will not break from the party and vote for you and do things for you. So somebody's got to yell about it and upset people, and I'll do it. I don't give a shit.
All right. Thank you, Jacob from Georgetown. Next up is going to be Gary from Nashville.
Nashville.
You been in Nashville before?
I think so, yep. Get off my lawn isn't too far right. It's just tired of watching conservatives apologize for being conservative. The left can scream, protest, cancel, and call everybody fascist. But the minute Tom pushes back, suddenly he's the problem? Please.
I like that guy.
Yeah, after the last three that we just got, Gary.
I love Nashville.
Gary, we'd like to have you on the show. So if you'd like to call in, our regular block is 1 o'clock on Fridays. If you want to call in and be heard live, we'd like you. You're a good guy.
No, I mean, he's speaking the truth. That's an actual good assessment of what's going on. They can do whatever they want on whatever channel they want. The minute we say anything, we're far-right extremists.
Who can't promote because you said something that was negative about the left.
But none of us are plotting the death of the president. None of us are getting together and plotting to shoot everybody in Washington at the UFC fight. There's none of that going on here with the conservatives.
Yeah, that was kind of my point earlier when I said, when you're not far left enough, what do they call you? They call you fascist. They call you pedophile. They call you all sorts of the names. But again, you're saying fuck those people and you're the bad guy according to
there was a lot of white kids in that thing. Their little plot.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not good in public, I guess. Well, they all get together online and they make their little plot. But when it comes to actually being in public. They're not too good at it.
There's no such thing as a liberal young white man, okay? The only white men that are out there supporting that side are desperate to get laid. And they have to shape their entire personality around being an ally to these big hog women, you know? So you don't see it because they're like, man, do I want to get laid or do I want to go have my voice heard? And they're choosing to get laid.
I don't think they're getting laid very well.
They're not. That's a terrible, terrible way of approaching it.
When I was younger in the 80s, and it was the first time you'd hear about gay stuff. And I always figured it was because they had no luck with women.
They couldn't pull no bitches.
They had no game when it came to women, so they just threw up the white flag and thought it'd be easier with your buddy. But I guess it's a little more into detail than that.
All right. Well, thank you again to Gary from Nashville. Next up is going to be Tim from Palm Beach, Florida.
Hey, cool.
Tom is what happens when Own the Libs becomes a full-time job and you've got no benefits and no retirement plan.
That's funny.
I know. When I saw that, I had to put it on.
First, I want to congratulate you on your new airport, Donald J. Trump International. Yep, DJT. You're going to be buying your ticket, and you're going to have to go to DJT. So we think that's wonderful. What else did he say?
No benefits and no retirement plan.
Oh, well, I got Social Security coming in 4 or 5 years. I mean, I'm going to be 62 this year. I could technically take it, but I still want to earn and I don't want to pay it all back. So I'll probably just let it sit there a little while. But don't worry about me, man. I'm doing good. Mm-hmm. I didn't get this tan just because I'm sitting on a soup line.
Yeah. And again, there's 2 million little lefty creators that are pushing their propaganda as hard as they can. And because the guy's out here saying, fuck those people, you're going to try to tear them down, Tim. I'm sorry about the small penis. Okay, next up is going to be Gavin from Isle of Wight, right?
Isle of Wight, UK.
Isle of Wight.
Oh, that's the second UKer.
All right. Damn, I love the U.S. Here to watch the 3 Lions win the World Cup, and a friend showed me a station you can listen to a bunch of podcasts and get off my lawn is fucking hilarious. You blokes are good, and I'll keep listening. And it's coming home. I'm assuming that's about the World Cup. And we are pulling for you now, as of right now, Gavin, because fuck soccer otherwise. But go, Gavin, and you're.
I could not watch enough of the videos of the people from the UK and all that area visiting here and being totally blown away by it and realizing how lied to they've been by their media. I hope that the million of people that visited and went back home, they can get another 10, each get 10 people to know the truth about what goes on here. Everything is a lie from the media, whether you're here or there. It's always a lie when they tell you how terrible everything is. But thanks for listening, propaganda. Man. Thanks for listening. My that Joss and Jace, I've been following them for a year. So I've been into you guys coming over here and talking about, can you believe the size of this sandwich?
The air conditioning, how hard they fought for air conditioning.
Yeah,
it's awesome to see.
It is great. It is great. And outside of your politicians, and I think Trump, we're having all this issues with immigration and all this stuff, and we're always bringing third world countries in here. I say screw it. A moratorium, 5 years, no third world country immigration. But if you're from Ireland, UK, France, any of those, and you've been a citizen of that country since birth, we're going to open the floodgates, and you guys can all come here and live. Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we bring in millions of them that love this country, instead of people that hate and got the brain cell, 3 brain cells to them? Because these guys are educated.
That's the exact reason. They're educated, and the people letting people in and wanting immigrants to flood in, they want the stupidest of the stupid because that's a Democrat vote.
Well, that's why we need to defeat the Democrats in every way, shape, or form. Think of how much better this country would be if we filled it with guys like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all those people that took those videos and were so happy to be here. And I mean, what a different place we'd have if we'd had let them come in here. I don't know why somebody hasn't taken that mantle up and run with it.
Maybe it's you.
Yeah, but I got a couple of people out here that maybe a politician will hear it and run with it. But I mean, geez, there's such great Irish and UK people and stuff like that are getting pummeled, by their liberal globalization bullshit they got over there. And they would love to probably come here, but I think we have more roadblocks up for them to come here than we do from, Ethiopia. Screw that. Let's let the barriers down for them. And I mean people that were born there, not the ones that immigrated there. You get to stay. That's where you wanted to go. But the people that were born and are, citizens of the UK, France, Sweden, all those people that were here that were doing so great. So, I don't know.
All right, we only got 4 minutes left in the first half, so we got to push on through to somebody who I wish was Irish and gave us a good old-fashioned Irish goodbye and never messaged us again, but apparently he didn't enjoy not hearing his name last week. We got Javon from Charleston.
Well, we didn't, Javon.
Not once did we mention you.
We purposely said no mentioning Javon's name. We're not going to.
Apparently that got his...
And he had
mom's undies all in a bunch because he's clearly wearing them. Y'all don't know shit about me saying I ain't got no job and shit. I own my own biz and make more than your MAGA white ass.
I wrote it exactly how it came over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we didn't talk about you last week. So this is, again, you trying to have your name.
Are you
heard.
calling here bragging that you got a job?
Yeah.
No, he owns his own biz.
No, he owns his own biz. And again, you're making it about race, Javon. This is like the third time that you've decided to make it about race. We are just assuming, based on the way you talk and your name and where you live, that you're a busted-ass loser. But again, we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. Maybe you're like this because you knocked up a chick when you were 16, and the only way you could put up with her is by conforming your ideals to this crazy-ass liberal mindset. But we're happy that you continue to listen, and you should spread the word to your 2 or 3 friends that you live with, your mom and your grandmother.
I swear yours best.
I got nothing, Javon. I mean, it is what it is. We'll hear from you next week. But, you can comment on what I'm actually saying sometimes. Like last week, I thought that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. You think that would have been a big topic? No. Nobody says anything about that. They just call me angry. Nobody says anything about the point I made.
That's how it is.
They got no policies. They just got anger and they got hate.
Yeah. Not one time has somebody said, yeah, but what about this, and this in regards to something I've said? They don't. It's just an attack fest. I've asked people to tell me what I'm wearing on my shirt. I'll read whatever you want to say. I've said I'll call up a liberal friend of yours and break up with them for you. I've done a lot of different things, but there were a lot more nice ones in there. Our Nashville guy was good.
We got less than a minute to go. So on our second half, feel free to jump in. We are going to do a Mount Rushmore. We're going to do a blind rank, and we're going to do another Can He Build It? Thank you for joining us on the first half of the Get Off My Lawn podcast. We'll see you on the back half.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Get Off My Lawn podcast, brought to you by BarnDoor Innovations. We thank Voices from the Balcony Radio for the broadcast time. Follow us on social media at Pop Said, Get Off My Lawn on TikTok, Get Off My Lawn on Facebook, and BarnDoor Innovations on YouTube. This was a BarnDoor Innovations production.